penny of it. Well, it is the dream of thousands of kids. Jump from football Friday night to the bright lights of college football. Many have the talent, but some do not have the grades.
And that has created a market for postgraduate football programs. Many of them promise to help boost test scores and GPAs, things needed to get into a university.
The cost can run in the thousands of dollars. Critics say too often it's money that's wasted. Jamie Bull has tonight's problem solver investigation.
Well, Marie, the NCAA is very concerned about these postgraduate programs, concerned about their academic integrity. Schools have been popping up all over the country, and one of them is right here in Charlotte. It's tonight's problem solver investigation. What's over here?
These are trophies.
This is Tim Newman walking us through the offices of North Carolina Tech Preparatory Christian Academy.
Southeastern Region champ, 12-0.
He is the coach of an apparent football powerhouse. His program's website boasts a 42-2 all-time record, 2 national championships, and 3 NPAC conference titles. What is the NPAC?
That is a conference that we have started between us and Gyra.
It turns out Gyra is the only other team in the conference. And as for NC Tech's national championships, it's really self-proclaimed.
If you go to Florida, if you go to Ohio, if you go to New York, if you go to Cleveland, if you go all over the country, and you beat everybody around the country and you don't lose a football game, then what are you?
An inflated football resume is one thing. A bigger question is what's being promised at NC Tech academically.
Well, I heard about them my 12th grade.
Charles Holmes was a star wide receiver at Rock Hill's South Point High School. He was good enough to get a scholarship offer from South Carolina.
I always wanted to play in William Brown Stadium, so.
But grades stood in the way. He was about to go to a junior college when he says NC Tech approached.
Then they said we can graduate there, too.
So they told you to drop out of high school?
Basically. They basically just, like, come in early. They say we can get some classes done, and then hopefully graduate.
Charles Holmes is one of several players, parents, and former coaches now talking to the problem solvers. They tell us NC Tech's roster topped more than 100 when the season began.
They offered our whole senior class. We all had letters sticking out our locker when we got out of practice one day.
Many needed to improve their grades to meet NC2A eligibility requirements.
They said I'll be able to take 3 or 4 classes.
Carolyn Hardy shelled out $2,500 to sign up her son. And you couldn't pay that all up front?
No, I didn't have it.
So she paid some, borrowed some, and then set up a payment plan because of everything NC Tech was offering.
Study hall every night, progress reports every 2 weeks, tutoring, SAT, GPA for GPA scores.
And none of it really happened?
No.
If a kid chooses not to go to study hall, that's him.
Tim Newman says the complaints aren't really about academics.
They're complaining about the football program here now because they're not playing.
But what about the education?
It's our classroom here.
Newman says in previous years, NC Tech had been outsourcing it, but this year brought it in-house. He bought a curriculum program from Accelerated Christian Education, or ACE. Classes started last month. Is that class acceptable to the NCAA?
Yes, it is. It is acceptable for the NCAA.
No, they won't.
Steve Ballinger works for ACE. We talked to him on the phone in his Nashville office. He says the NC2A will only accept credits once the school using its curriculum has achieved what ACE calls model or quality status. In the case of North Carolina Tech, have they met model or quality status?
No, they've not even come close to it.
We know exactly what we're doing here. So ACE can't speak for the NC2A.
The NC2A is speaking. After the problem solvers raised these questions, it put out this news release. It says, in part, the NC2A Eligibility Center will not accept core courses, grades, and graduation from North Carolina Tech Preparatory Christian Academy.
Go. Just had to pack up my stuff and leave now.
This man took my money, selling me dreams.
We contacted Tim Newman again after the NCAA release came out. He says NC Tech academics will be considered on a case-by-case basis. The NCAA tells us it will do that for anyone currently enrolled, but cannot guarantee that it will actually accept any coursework from NC Tech. The NCAA also says it is under no obligation to review the academics of anyone who enrolls from now on. Maureen.
Well, as for Charles Holmes, he is now enrolled at another academy. He says he is on target to graduate in December and still hopes to play for the Gamecocks.